In this video, I'm going to share 7 simple habits that you can implement right away to change your ADHD life. Now, I get it. Having ADHD myself, it is very difficult to make habits become a long-term habit. And therefore, a lot of times when we are trying to use habits to change our ADHD, it can be very difficult. So I'm going to share some of the simple habits that I have done that have really helped me over the years that I continuously am able to do because they're simple, but make a drastic change for my ADHD. And I've used it for a lot of my patients and clients. So the very first simple habit that I found that was a game changer was actually using something like white noise, or if white noise doesn't work for you, you could also use things like green noise or brown noise, depending on the frequency that you like that you could tolerate, because white noise and all the different variances of noises can help drown out background noise. And I use this, and actually while I'm working, I put headphones on and listen to white noise as a background. So it drowns out all the distractive noise that are around my house, especially my kids being upstairs and any other kind of distractions, so that I can be really focused and productive throughout the day. But I also even use it when I go to bed, because people who are light sleepers, using something like white noise can drown out any noises around the house so that you have a good quality of sleep. And sleep is so critical for people with ADHD. The second simple habit that you can use to really change your ADHD life is taking your phone and set it into focus mode. Now, this really depends on your phone, but most phones now have the setting where you can set it in focus mode, and you can decide what actually comes through during business hours. So if you don't want to be distracted between 9 and 5 p.m., then you can set it up where these apps don't distract you, especially all your social media apps. Since I've ever done this, in fact, I've done and tested this where I have saved an average to 2 to 3 hours a day of not being distracted. Imagine what you can do with just 2-3 hours a day extra, because with our ADHD brain, we get distracted so easily. So it's definitely critical to put your phone in focus mode so that you can be focused and productive throughout the day. Number 3, this is a very simple habit that I have been using more and more and simplifying over the years, because when it comes to doing any tasks or to-do lists, all that can definitely stack up, and it can be overwhelming, especially for our ADHD brain, especially if you're dealing with anxiety. This can be very taxing for you. So what I've learned is that by just taking that extensive to-do list is to get rid of it altogether and focus on the 3 most important things that you need to accomplish that day. Versus having a list of 10 things to do that you probably are not going to get done, simplify it to the 3 most important things. And I will usually write this the night before, and also block out time when I'm going to do that, so that way it gets accomplished. And if I just get those 3 things done, then I feel like I'm very successful that day, and the rest of the day doesn't matter. The 4th simple habit that has really made a game changer for me is we understand the importance of eating green vegetables. We understand that it's important to eat a good diet. But a lot of times with people with ADHD, we could be really busy and we tend to forget to eat, or forget to eat the good foods. We are prone to this because of our poor time management skills and being prone to time blindness and not taking the time to actually make good foods or even eating at times. So what I simply do is I will typically just buy vegetables that are already pre-cut and have them close by of where I'm working, so I can just snack on them. But on top of that, what I do is I buy powdered greens like a protein shake, and make sure at least I'm doing that once a day. So at least I'm getting 2 to 3 servings of vegetables every single day. It's something that's so simple, and you just make it a habit. You just make these green smoothies, and at least you're getting some kind of vegetables into your diet. And this definitely could be a game changer for your ADHD health. Now, if you're getting any value in today's video, then go ahead and hit the subscribe button, hit the bell notification so you don't miss out on any other ADHD tips that we do share on this channel. The 5th simple habit that you can definitely implement for your ADHD to make it a big game changer for you is making sure that you just stay hydrated. Staying hydrated is so critical for our brain. Our brain and our body is mostly made up of water, in fact, like about 60%. And so it's so important to keep us hydrated, because when you become dehydrated, you are going to have brain fog. You're going to even be prone to even have headaches. It's something that happens to me. I notice when I don't hydrate myself, I will tend to be more groggy, have more brain fog, and then will be more prone to headaches. So therefore, I'm not going to be productive or focused or attentive throughout the day. So I always make sure to carry a water bottle and always have it right next to my desk, and making sure I'm filling it up. So I'm make sure I'm at least drinking about 3 of these. It all depends on your weight. The best rule of thumb about drinking water is you want to take your weight and then take half of that weight amount and put that in ounces. So for example, if you weigh 200 pounds, then you should drink about 100 ounces of water a day, roughly. Now, the 6th simple habit you could definitely implement is going back to your phone, is using the alarm system. Now, let me explain how I actually use this and how it really does simplify my life. One of the biggest things that I would always forget is taking out the trash every week. I mean, who's here has actually had that experience where you wake up in the morning and you hear the dump truck going by and you realize, oh my gosh, I forgot to take out the trash. I've had that happen to me multiple times, but it hasn't been an issue since I've used the alarm that I set up every Tuesday night. I have an alarm where it notifies me to make sure to take out the trash. But I also will not stop the alarm, like especially if I'm doing something or watching something, I'll just hit the snooze button and then it will remind me in 15 minutes and I'll keep on hitting the snooze button until I actually do it. So you have to discipline yourself to make sure to hit the snooze button until you actually finish the task on hand. And then other thing that people don't realize, and I found this really beneficial, everyone talks about waking up early. You know, how important it is to wake up early. But people with ADHD, I'd say the bigger problem, especially for me, is going to bed early. And so instead of just setting up an alarm to wake up, you should actually set up an alarm on your phone of when you should be going to bed. So if it's like trying to go to bed at 10 o'clock, set up an alarm for 10 o'clock and don't actually turn it off until you are finally settled in your bed. Just keep hitting the snooze button until you finally are settled in your bed. And that way, that can really help with your ADHD health because you're going to get better quality sleep, and that's going to help in the long run for your ADHD. Now, the seventh simple habit, and this is probably the biggest game changer for me that has happened not only for my ADHD, but how productive I am in my business, but also when I was in school. And this has to actually having designated days that you do specific things, or at least designated half days that you only focus on that thing. Because let me explain. With our ADHD brain, it is very hard for us to switch from one task to the next. We like to think we can multitask, but we simply aren't very good at it. In fact, nobody's really good at it, of switching back and forth. And our ADHD brain can get distracted so much that it is very difficult to try to do multiple things or switching multiple things where they're an hour back to back. So what I've done, I started applying this when I was in college, is I would both have a job and also have classes in going to college. So what I would do is Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I would have classes. And then Tuesday and Thursday, I would go to work the full day. Or what I also would do is half of the day, depending on my schedule, the very first half of the day, I would work and then I would take night classes. So that way it was blocked up in chunks. This helped me be really present and focused throughout the day. And now how I do it in my business is I have designated days that I work on my business, and I've designated days where I see patients and clients, and then I've designated days that I actually shoot videos like this. So when you do that, you will find that you are way more efficient and productive, and then you could batch your work. Now, if you really want to change your ADHD life in less than a year, then you should watch this video next, where I dive in deep, step by step, of exactly what I do with my patients and clients to help them change their ADHD life for good.